this lesson is going to review how to write speeches. Let's take a look, first of all, at what a speech is. Well, speeches are written for special occasions, and they're given for different purposes. So a speech might be designed to entertain, or to inform, or to express an opinion. Speeches also includes very specific techniques. One technique is repetition. It could be the repetition of a word or a phrase or a sentence that the speaker throws in throughout the speech to drive his or her point home. Sometimes speeches include quotations. Quotations help to support your point. They help to catch the reader's attention. They can be used for different purposes. Sometimes people will use quotations to open or to close a speech. You can also use what are called anecdotes. Anecdotes are very short stories that apply to the topic you're talking about. They can be true or made up, but they are designed to make some kind of point directly related to your topic. Again, anecdotes should be very short, and you should make sure that they are on topic, at least in some way. And a speech will be presented in a tone that shows how the speaker feels about the subject. So the speaker has to have some direct connection and direct feeling about the topic, and that feeling should come through in the speaker's tone. Your process for writing a speech. And remember, a speech is made up of two major steps, the actual writing and then the presentation. And they are two very different steps in the process. So we're first going to talk and focus in on the process of writing a speech. First of all, decide on your purpose. Do you want to inform? Do you want to entertain? Do you want to express an opinion? And then plan the main points. As you're planning out the main points of your speech, make sure that you think about where you can use repetition, where you can use examples, where you can use anecdotes to really make your points clear to your audience. As you're writing, you should make sure that you identify the audience. Know who it is that you're presenting this material to. How you present a speech to one group of people may be very different than the way that you would present it to another group of material. For instance, if I am doing a presentation to a class of students, I'm probably going to present very differently than if I were presenting to a group of adults, parents, politicians. Each group I would present in a different manner. So you need to really know who your audience is to make sure that your speech presentation is appropriate to that audience. You should set a tone, and you can set your tone by your word choice. Choose very exact, specific words that help your reader to understand your feelings about your topic. Now, this is important especially for the actual speaking part of your speech, but you need to vary the length and rhythm of your sentences. Your sentences should not follow kind of a da 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 pattern, because your reader tunes out and stops listening. If you vary short sentences with long sentences, if you change the rhythm of your sentences, your listeners are going to be a lot more engaged in your speech. They're going to be much less likely to tune you out. Make sure that you use transitions. Transitions are important in all forms of writing, but especially in speeches. They help your listener to follow along with where you're at. Listeners listen for cues such as first, second. They know that when you say finally, you're coming to the end of your speech. And so transitions give kind of a roadmap of your speech for the reader, or for the listener, as they're listening to your speech. Always a good idea to really think about your opening of your speech. Begin in some kind of catchy way, because if you do not catch your audience's attention right at the very beginning, you will never have their attention. So begin in a catchy way, continue strong through your main points, and then end memorably. End with something that makes your listeners remember your speech. Might be a quotation, you could throw in an anecdote at the end, but some way that your listeners are going to remember you and what you had to say.